Oh shit.
She's out.
That's how we do it. Actually, that's not how we ever do it, but that's how we're doing it today. And Ryan doesn't give a shit about these those 16 mags. 15, 16?
16.
16-inch mags. The JZ's out with the front cross member, tranny, rear tranny mount. And yeah, just gotta remove those control arms.
It's not high enough, I don't think.
Nope.
Maybe. Is it?
Well, it's just,
yeah, it is.
it's the control arms that are catching. It's not a big deal. But yeah. And I got my Evo also is on all 4 jack stands.
Again.
Yes, but now it's in the center of the garage, so I can work on it. All right, and we got the. I put the engine here. I put the intake and exhaust manifold on. I just gotta get them both welded. But have a little update on the Evo real soon.
So we're just out here testing the new setup for the new drift chassis. We're thinking no chassis, you know? Right here? I think that's pretty good. Yeah. And it's even got the crack delete.
Got the crack delete shifter.
I don't know, I think this could work, guys.
Just put a little tube chassis around your feet and you're good.
Look at the caster on these. It's horrible. I got the nice squint safety glasses. Any use in breaking the rest of it?
Yes.
Yes?
There is.
For camera?
For YouTube.
That window tint really helps us. That last part wasn't just for fun. I swear. It was not just for fun.
So, C-pillars are cut. Got the rear subframe. The girlfriend just arrived. C-pillars cut. B-pillars cut way the fuck down there. A-pillars are cut like in the engine bay. Gonna start rebuilding this one soon. Evo is in the garage. The only thing left inside is dash, steering wheel, and driver's seat. Got the JZ.
Going in the Evo.
Going in the Evo, sure. So yeah, emptied it out. Gonna get a nice clean. Now I'm just working on where I'm gonna pop in my fuel cell.
A little bit of sexuality, or rather maybe some homosexuality. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't really buy clothes often, and I keep my clothes forever. So I realized when I put these pants on, I haven't worn them since high school. How gay is it to have buttons instead of a zipper? If you buy these pants in like 2017 and wear pants with buttons as a zipper, please go back to like 1999 or early 2000s. And if you are the kind of guy to wear a sweater like this in public, please don't. This is horrible. Like, this is the kind of shit that I'll lay under a fucking transmission and drain the oil on myself for. This is horrible.
Alright, so we just removed the JZ adapter to BMW transmission, and Ryan's gonna explain to you guys
how complicated, well, not complicated, but how many layers there are to this shit.
how it is possible.
So, first off, this plate here is one that we will be custom making to sell.
Hashtag replicate.
No.
Make it better.
Yes.
Obviously.
And anyways, it's made out of aluminum, which is horrible for drifting application. Great because it's lightweight, but the threads will not last. Anyways, ours will be made of steel. Now this Spacer goes first. Come around this way, Sean.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna lay it out on my knee after, but spacer goes first. Okay.
What's that spacer?
This spacer is actually originally from a BMW, but it was just to mock it up. But now we know that that's the right thickness. So
that's a BMW automatic.
like behind the flex plate of an automatic BMW.
It's the same bolt pattern?
Yes. Same. Wow.
Weird.
Yes. It also fits perfectly on the I guess you'd call that pilot. Now this is a JZ automatic ring gear or flex plate, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now this goes on next.
And what would be the reason to use the flex plate?
Because this adapter plate actually pushes out the starter 3/4 of an inch about. So by pushing the starter out, it won't work once we adapt sorry, it doesn't push the starter out. It pushes the flywheel out. So the starter will not touch the original flywheel or any flywheel that's there, because the flywheel will be way out here. So the starter has to be able to grip something in the factory location, which this is in the factory location.
That's a JZ starter?
JZ starter, JZ ring gear. Because the BMW ring gear is not the same. So,
Makes
those
sense.
2 layers there. Now, this is the first half of our puzzle. This half here goes on like this, using the JZ stock flywheel bolts in these holes here.
So you've got some nice ARPs.
These are original for now. Hold on, I'll just drop all these down in there. Because at the same time I'm putting this away for storage.
Interesting.
Until it goes back out. So, all that in there, let's just say it's all torqued down to the stock JZ specs.
Torque to spec, right?
Yeah. Now this is the next part of this. This one here was our test fit. The next ones will have a recess that will actually center these.
Okay.
They are already centered on 8 bolts, so it shouldn't be any kind of an issue at all. But we will do it for safety precautions. Now this here looks like a Swiss cheese, but
Nice.
the reasoning is that the bolt pattern is technically almost identical between BMW and JZ, but the BMW bolts are quite a bit bigger and they wouldn't fit exact. And I don't really trust long bolts. I would much prefer proper length bolts properly torqued. Now, because a shorter bolt won't stretch as much as a longer bolt over a distance, right? Now the way this is set up is, since there's not enough room obviously to put a bolt between these bolts, we had to make it in 2 halves. So by doing that, these actually line up like that. Then we've got these bolts that go down in there, and they countersink in. I'll just put them like that for now. If this was down in there, they sink in flush like that. Okay. So,
amazing.
Flush. So I'll take that out of there. Now, let's just say that that's bolted there, torque to spec. Next up is the BMW flywheel, which also uses BMW flywheel bolts. Now, the nice thing is, since you're not using the ring gear, you don't have to really worry what BMW flywheel you use. You can actually take this off of pretty well any M52, M54, not N, M like mom. I guess M50 as well. So you can actually buy an aftermarket clutch kit for a BMW as long as it has the right shaft splines for your transmission. So you can, yes, you can get an M3 one as long as it's the right shaft splines. Now, this goes on here, and yes, it does fit perfectly centered on our adapter. Use a stock set of BMW bolts or ARPs, whatever you want. Yes, this is a stock single mass from an E46, dual mass, sorry. It is shit. Don't recommend it to anyone. It was just put on for testing. Now these bolts go in, and they turn down on there and get torqued into there. Next up, I'll take that out of there just for now, is the clutch plate. Well, your clutch disc, sorry. This is also a stock clutch disc. which I haven't had any issues with slipping yet on about 300 horsepower. So, luckily. But I mean, I'm not expecting it to last. I think I'll grenade the flywheel before anything else. And then, last but not least, pressure plate goes on. If I can find the proper holes. Right there. Nope. Next set. Right there. And that would get torqued down to spec as well. So, right now that's not centered in the center there, but if that was all bolted together, it would look something like this. Now this is about, oops, without that, I'd say about 35, 40 pounds, maybe a little more than that. So yeah, it is a little extra weight, but not a whole pile.
Yeah, but honestly, I drove it and it doesn't feel like...
It doesn't feel funny at all. And if you're gonna go with a single mass, lightweight flywheel, you know, any kind of performance flywheel, which you probably should be doing.
The ring gear off the stock BMW flywheel machined off.
Yeah, but I mean, even at that, you shouldn't be, if you're drifting or putting a JZ in, you really shouldn't be using a dual mass flywheel. They're absolute shite. It would be a good idea to get like a proper dual mass, even a single mass, even if it's like an eBay one, like better off than this.
Aluminum single plate.
Yeah, and get like a better clutch. But like, even at that, if you want to drift, have a half decent street feel, you could always use a stock disc and get like a stronger pressure plate with a nice aftermarket flywheel and make a really nice like clamping force. Same time as a little bit of a slip, but like a nice grip. You know, you got a little bit of options. The other thing too is the actual stock BMW pressure plates are really shit. Well, shit. They grip okay, but they're actually auto adjusting, which I don't like and a lot of people don't like. But because you have a dual mass flywheel stock in a BMW, you actually have a rigid clutch disc. It's unsprung. So if you're gonna go with an aftermarket flywheel, yeah, you're gonna get a lighter flywheel, better pedal feel, and at the same time, your revs are gonna like just be a lot nicer. As a BMW, the revs really hang and it sucks. Basically with this clutch disc on an aftermarket flywheel, it's gonna be pretty impressive, but it'll be pretty aggressive at the same time. So if you were running a nice aftermarket flywheel, this clutch disc with a really strong clamping pressure plate, it would probably feel like really like racy, like really decent.
I like that, racy.
Racy.
Lol.
Professional. You know, it would feel pretty good. Also, nice investment from RevShift. Nice aftermarket Guibo. It's solid aluminum with polyurethane inserts. I think that's a pretty decent thing. I also have all RevShift lifetime warranty engine mounts and transmission mounts. Much cool. Better than stock. Custom haggard ass looking short shift, but I do have ECS Delrin shifter bushings everywhere. So it's like super, like not only super short shift, it's super firm. It feels really nice. Even on my notchy ass, blown ass 323 gearbox. Yes, it's a really junky gearbox.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a sequential, so it sounds like a race car gearbox.
That Craigslist $50 tranny.
Yeah, because we use Craigslist here.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I wish you guys in the States would be able to see how good Kijiji is.
Kijiji.
Craigslist sucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to work on the.
Show them our heating source.
On the Hevo, yeah. We got right now this. Fuck, it's really warm in here.
Yeah, did you turn it off?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna turn it off. This is a propane heater. It's pretty fucking good. Right now I'm just separating the brake lines, the fuel lines, because I'm gonna be running all new brake lines. But the fuel lines are still good, and the fuel return to go to my custom fuel cell in the back. So let me get back to work on that. And you can expect more videos coming soon of the Evo and the JZ46.
And if you'd like to see more videos of coming, you can always check out Teen Ski.